Good morning, or whatever it is. It's September 4th, 2022. I'm Kurt, and this is my Morning Good Life meditation video. Something I do every day to remember my life objectives and principles, and to see how I'm doing applying them to my everyday, namely yesterday, and a plan for today. First, last night and yesterday. Last night, slept pretty good. Got to sleep on time. Pretty solid night of sleep. Don't feel very rested though. Not so sure why. Otherwise, it was a really nice day. Yumiko and I cleaned house. We did our shopping. We enjoyed some nice time together, just hanging out. So more and more, the two of us just enjoy that more than anything. It's nice to maybe feel like it's not that I'm done with having adventures, but then the driven necessity of it seems to have passed. It's more something that I can do, like taking an afternoon stroll if I want to. And lately I haven't wanted to for weeks and months now. That's why I don't do them anymore. Kind of got past it. But yeah, it's not. I could say that I finished, that the utility is complete, having written Going Alone. That's true also, but I used to feel driven to do it, like I was searching for something. Don't feel that way anymore. It's nothing to find. Wow, that's a heavy thought right there. Not searching because there's nothing to find. And being all right with that. I had an interesting encounter yesterday with actually the past 48 hours with a young Mormon man who approached me online on Facebook Messenger, actually. First he reached out to me and extended a friend request, which I accepted. You could clearly see that he was a Mormon, with the suit and tie and all, the elder badge. He then, within an hour of my accepting the friend request, began speaking to me on Messenger. At first I thought it was a clever new scam, a confidence scam, because it had all the appearance of it. And then I was telling Yumiko later, and then I realized he was legit, and then I realized it is a confidence scam nonetheless, nevertheless, even though it's not a scam for money, it's a scam for my attention and time, and in a way my money. They want 10%, and they want me, they want us. So we had kind of a back and forth. It was kind of a strange back and forth. He would ask me questions. First he was trying to just to be friendly and, ingratiate himself to me. And I knew what was coming, of course, was the punchline was, do you know Jesus Christ? Have you heard of LDS, etc.? It took him about 24 hours to get there, but he did yesterday. And finally got to that point. And it was very quick. He yielded instantly. Didn't really even make an effort. He asked me if I knew. How did the conversation go? Boiled down to asking me something about, do I know God? I said, can you tell me why you believe? And because he'd made his proposal, which is proposal that a God exists. So I responded, can you tell me, why you believe in a God? Normally I would ask for more details, like what God, tell me more about your God, but I know what it is, given it's LDS. I made some assumptions. Got to the point. Why you believe? And he said it's because of prayer and scripture. And I asked him, is it possible that someone else could attest that they know that their God is real because of prayer and scripture? And he said yes, he thought that might be true, but his was. So I then asked him, so how do we determine who is correct? And he went on to describe the lineage from Jesus Christ all the way down to through Joseph Smith, he said there were no other prophets from Jesus all the way to Joseph Smith, and then all the way to the current prophet, a gentleman whose name I can't remember, who is the current Mormon prophet. And he said that's the reason that I know I'm right. And I told him bluntly, I said, I find your reasons unconvincing, or uncompelling. Then he asked if I was. He then said he's not in the business. They are not in the business of proving things to people, but would I like to have a free copy of the Book of Mormon? And I simply said that he hadn't given me any good reason to want to be interested in that, and said, no thanks, thank you for the conversation. And I got a thumbs up. And that was the end of that. I expected more of a engagement. I thought about going down the path of asking him to explain Ezekiel 9 to me. Because that was one part of what he said. He said he's a teacher. I should have taken that opportunity. But I'm glad for the way things went down. Because I was genuine and sincere with him. I wanted to know the reasons that he believed. And I was hoping for something better than the patent things of the thing he'd left out, which I'm surprised, was a personal testament. The standard patent things are, prayer, personal testament, scripture, prophecy, having a personal relationship with God. Those are the ones I usually hear people say. I didn't try to elaborate. He had on his Facebook, I checked out his Facebook page. He had videos on his Facebook page, and he was so young. Gosh, I know it's the standard age when they do this, but he seemed so young and so vibrant and bubbly. And so I guess I'm glad with the way things went down. Because I am curious to know. And if he had a good reason, then I would love to know it. And I think he got and I'm glad that I could share with him that to be convinced, I need to have a good reason to be convinced. Okay, let's do the good life. 7 objectives. It's 32 principles. The 7 objectives are to always be ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize my true limits and true opportunity, to do just one thing at a time, and to do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. Okay, now my 32 principles. Principle of war suggests I should always be fighting against what I think is true, and what others propose to me is true. Like I did against what the elder did yesterday. I fought against it. Not very hard, because it's not a hard battle. 2, I need to, the principle is called the principle of reason. It has the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, and doubt. And that's the method by which I go through the world exploring propositions of truth. 3, the homunculus. A proposition that I do not have a soul. The refutation that I have of the idea of a soul. It's not even that. I should drop it. I shouldn't even bring it up. The concept of soul is a dead concept. But it helps to illustrate how I'm using consciousness in place of it. So I guess it's okay. So if it seems that I don't have a soul, what do I have? I do have a consciousness. The next principle is the Anchorhold, which is the idea that the consciousness is trapped within me and will die with me. And then the home of good and evil. Right and wrong reside within me, within you. They don't reside anywhere else. Then purpose. My 3 purpose are biology, virtue, and mission. Biology is being a good man. No. Raising my daughter to successfully having a kid and raising that kid successfully to adulthood, which I'm almost done with that. virtue is to be a virtuous human being. And then purpose. My purpose is to share the message and the story of my book, going along. Then comes the atomic principle. Everything is made of bits and pieces, flowing and changing and forever transforming. And then the principle of nature. Everything has some particular nature, including you and me. And then the pirate ride, with the suggestion that free will is an illusion. And then maturity, on the sub-principles of wisdom and fortitude. And then the atomic principle. Everything is made of bits and pieces. And the principle of nature. Everything has some particular nature, and it's good to recognize what that is. And then temperance, is that next? Whoops. Sorry, Ollie. Sorry, little buddy. Scared the dog. No. The social principle. We're social creatures. We need each other. And then public speaking. Just saying one thing at a time, slowly. What? I'm being careless this morning. I'm tired, a little tired for some reason. I need more coffee in me. So after social principle comes public speaking. To use few words, carefully chosen words, and deliberate words. Be very careful about what I say and to never gossip. And then temperance. Control consumption of all things. And then that which must be borne is the stuff that we have to carry in life, the stuff we have to do, relative to the commitments we undertake and the goals that we set for ourselves. No. Is that right? Temperance. After temperance comes, life will not go well. Life's going to be challenging. Then the horror show. Really bad things are going to happen. And then that which must be borne. There you go. What's stuff we have to carry along the way, like our responsibilities and the horror show and the fact that life will not go well. Then comes the Feast of Offal, which is the banquet of our suffering, which I try to keep to myself, because it can soil others. Likewise, when others are indulging in the banquet, to not consume it. Then distraction. We distract ourselves through work and play and hobbies and church and everything. What are we distracting ourselves from? Well, that's something that I call the great indifference, the evidence or the lack of evidence of any God or any oversight or the fact that we're seemingly alone in the universe. And then the best seat in the house, to not want to be anyone else, be anywhere else, or be doing anything else, but to be okay with who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing. And the path of wildness, way upward and forward into and through new life. Am I missing anything? Then the risk of avoiding risk, the deep level and surface level risks of life. Sin and I've missed a couple of them. Just in front of the Path of Wildness, I should have put the Restless Man, and just after the Path of Wildness, I should have put the Great Life Adventure. Next comes then the risk of avoiding risk, the deep and the surface level risks of life, and then sin and damnation. 7 sins are falsity, credulity, faith, superstition, dogma, authority, and gossip. And then complete oblivion, no afterlife, so no chance of a final reunion or final reconciliation or final justice. We have to seek after those things while we have a chance. And then the Great Life Adventure, I already talked about that one. And then the Season of Philosophy, time to record what we've learned along the way, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, and then the principle of fun. Sorry, Ollie. That's my good life creed. Ooh, man, kind of out of it. Snap out of it, Kurt. I wonder if this is what it's going to be like to get older. Much older. I'm kind of worn out and beat. Probably. All right, that's that. Now what? Oh yeah, plan for the day. I'm going to finish this, upload it, go over, read my Bible, feed the dogs, walk the dogs, come back and do some reading until Yumiko gets up, and then we're going to go to San Pedro and have a look. Have a good day. Be safe, but not too safe.